one of the biggest issues in the international trade is the reliability of the freight schedules. Our own survey suggests, and when we asked people what were some of the exporters, they said one of the biggest issue they had was the freight schedule. Now, latest report I have seen, global reliability of schedules is at 38%, which has dropped from 74% in May last year and 45% in December last year. So 74%. 38%. So question, how can exporters increase the possibility of sending shipments on time? Manish?
This is now than any time before. The planning and forecasting is very critical. I mean, we all know that the schedules are really uncertain currently. Even the ship lines themselves sometimes don't know when they give you a booking, when exactly the vessel will arrive at the load port. In fact, being on top and planning and forecasting is very important. I mean, for example, yesterday itself, the Victorian terminal was closed for a day because of a COVID case. So a lot of last-minute interruptions, disruptions, whether it's at the load port or at the discharge port or transshipment port, there are delays, which is creating all the havoc in terms of the global schedules there. So it's very important to be on top of these things, and this is the biggest concern most of the exporters are having, where it doesn't matter how you book through a shipping line, through a website, but the booking confirmations are there, but vessels are getting rolled. To have a system in place which can give you an alert to allow you to be on top of things with changing dates so that you do not get incur charges of storage and you are ready when the vessel is arriving. Also thinking a bit outside the box, looking at alternative trade lanes, or you always have some favorites, a favorite forwarder or a favorite couple of shipping lines, but then expanding your horizon to look at alternative shipping lines, alternative trade lanes. In fact, I heard in the US, they also have come out, the shipping lines have come out with a guaranteed space type of model. Yeah, albeit yes, you have to pay a bit higher charge for that, but you get a guaranteed space. So there are shipping lines trying the best and trying to make some money off this, but also giving you some certainty. There's a NYSHEX, so there's an exchange in the US which gives you a guaranteed space if you book or do a contract with a shipping line on that particular exchange. So a lot of models are coming up here. But all I'll say is that you have to start thinking outside the box, and they say that this type of uncertain situation can remain for another 6 to 8 months. So looking at alternative trade lanes, looking at multiple shipping lines, forwarders, and planning and forecasting in advance so that you make enough cover booking are the ways you can at least assure the space availability and give that level of customer service to your customers. Yeah.
Nice, thank you. James?
Yeah, I think Manish is hogging all the good answers, but that probably covers most of it, to be honest. I think that, in our business, as Manish says, it's just about really having good planning and good visibility over what's in the system for us, retaining really good relationships with multiple shipping lines and having updated rates as well, not kind of falling into the trap of letting rates expire and then having to go to a shipping line and at the last minute and expect a favour. So, and also being aware that to share the love around the shipping lines, I guess, as things get hard, it's important to stay in the book with all of them and try and be there for them, and then hopefully they'll be there for you when it gets hard. But it is definitely a challenge at the moment, and perhaps another thing in our business is just being realistic with our salespeople and not expecting when things are tight like they are at the moment, having good communication between our logistics team and sales team so that there's not an unrealistic expectation where we're selling things for prompt shipment when the reality is there's no equipment around and we're not going to be able to get space. So just being upfront, honest with our customers and trying to retain relationships with shipping lines so that we can get equipment when need be.
Nice. Okay, so I heard planning, I heard diversification in terms of the freight companies that we choose, relationship building. Of course, we heard about internal coordination can be done better. I heard earlier from Manish about knowing when things change so that you can respond quicker and become more agile from that perspective. Thank you for that. Sam, what's any comments on that?
Look, my comments would be very generic compared to the informed response from Manish and James. Is obviously it's very important to have this strong relationship with the industry and with the freight industry more particularly. But at the other end, if your shipment is not released in time, or you have some complexity in releasing your shipment in a destination market, you still have, like, if it is a market where Austrade has an office or it's covered by Austrade, you are always welcome to contact us on shore or contact our colleagues offshore, and they will endeavor to get your shipment released with the local stakeholders and also with other Australian government representation there.
That's a very good nugget, Sam. That's really interesting. So Austrade can actually help release the shipments as well.
It is not guaranteed. It happened even in the meat industry in some countries where I was leading the meat sector, where a client sending expensive, high quality, fresh lamb. Again, it was lamb. And for some procedures, for some misunderstanding, they called me very late at night, the client, and said, the meat, I mean, it's worth a couple of $100,000 is going to be lost. And spoke to my colleague, and he contacted the authorities, and the meat was released, and it was like saving lots of money for the clients. So it is not guaranteed, but we do our best.
That's very nice to know. So people who are on the call, hopefully it helps them if such situation arises and if they didn't know about it. So thank you, Sam.